UFC 314 is coming up, and Alexander Volkanovski has an opportunity to submit himself as undeniably top three greatest fighters of all time. That's right. He's going to be up there with GSP and with John Jones if he can get this win back, right? And if he gets this win back, I can see him going on a little run before he retires, man. And which it's amazing, right? Because before Taporia left the division, we all kind of thought that was going to be the end of Volk, right? Because he's not going to beat Taporia. He's just not going to be able to. But I think he is still good enough to beat the guys like Lopez, potentially beat Evloev, and if he can beat those two guys, he can probably beat every other featherweight still. So I would love to see him get a win over Diego Lopez. But then again, there's the other side of the coin where if Alexander Volkanovski goes out there and beats Lopez, then the UFC really does not want that to happen. Because then the entire division is just kind of looked at as like Toporia's the uncrowned king of that division. That's how it looks to everybody. So of course the UFC wants a new rising star to come. But I mean, wouldn't it just be so good? It would feel just amazing just to see Volkanovski just submit himself as one of the greatest of all time. He already has, right? He really is one of the greatest of all time. But if he can get it back after two brutal losses to Islam Makhachev and then to Ilia Topuria, two brutal KOs, if he could come back and start a little run after that, that is just insane. Unbelievable greatness. And I've seen his training videos. He looks good, man. And sure, there is a curse that, for the featherweight guys, being over 35, you can't really stay champion being that old. And I think Volkanovski now, he's 36 years old. But if anybody can do it, if there's a guy, it's Alexander Volkanovski who could come back and go on a little title run of his own. Wouldn't that just be so awesome to see? I keep saying that, but it would just be everybody loves Volk now. People at the start of his title run didn't like him because of his, controversial wins over Max Holloway, I guess. But now people, especially after the Islam fight, right? He's been growing a real big fan base, and he should, dude. Totally deserved. And oh man, it's kind of like I'm rooting for Volkanovski. But then again, it would make a lot more sense for the division if the, younger, up-and-comer Diego Lopez, dangerous, entertaining, exciting fighter, is to win. So, but then again, I just really don't want to see Volk get knocked out again. I don't want to see it happen. It would be so sad to me because the thing is, Volk looked good in his fight against Topuria, right? He didn't wait after his knockout loss to Islam. He came back pretty quickly, like a few months later, and it wasn't that he didn't take enough time off. It was that he just got hit with an absolute bomb by Topuria, and anyone's gonna go out by that bomb, of course, and that proved that against Max Holloway, right? But what was really painful was how good Alexander Volkanovski looked. He was winning the first round, piecing Topuria up. Topuria's face looked pretty battered by only the second round. He was landing his jab really well, and it was pretty sad to see him get knocked out like that. So I'm just hoping it doesn't happen again. If he does lose, at least get submitted, man. I don't want to see him get knocked out. But it is so hard to submit a guy like Volkanovski who just has that toughness and gritness that'll get him through it. So this is actually a really underrated card, right? Because this is an amazing fight. And Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. I really like this fight. I do really like this fight because there were rumors of Michael Chandler going to fight Arman Sarukian, and that would have been insane. That would have been so funny. He was coming off of like 3 losses, then gets his #1 contenders match. But of course, he wouldn't deserve that. But if he did get that, I'm not even gonna lie, I wouldn't even care, dude, because this guy's fights are so exciting, and he really can compete with the best of them. It sounds kind of crazy, right? But he won that 5th round against Charles Oliveira, right? Oliveira, who's one of the best finishers, couldn't finish him. and he did kind of just, people really don't like to critique Charles Oliveira, but he did just kind of body triangle him for a lot of that fight. I can't lie. But Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett, this is a fun fight, and I think that I know the odds aren't here, but I'm pretty sure I saw that Paddy Pimblett was a slight favorite somewhere on Instagram. I don't know if that was real or not, but I'm actually favoring Michael Chandler for this matchup. If you look at who Michael Chandler has fought, it's been some of the top guys in the division, right? Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira twice, and I think Michael Chandler he's gonna have that experience. He has the cardio, right? He won the fifth round against Oliveira, almost finished him in the fifth round, gave me a heart attack with so many shots to the back of the head. But I mean, hey, dude, he's just a killer, and also the dude is just ripped out of his mind, dude. It's unbelievable, ungodly, dude. Like, it is insane just to see how strong this guy is. Iron is the perfect nickname for this dude. Like, I've seen pictures of this dude, and the vascularity and the muscles are just insane, man. Like, I do, my channel is Lifters MMA, right? I lift, but I mainly talk about UFC because that's what's relevant the most. And I just want to know, what are this guy's numbers, like his powerlifting numbers? What's his squat, bench, and deadlift, dude? Because this dude looks absolutely peeled. And sure, Oliveira was able to wrestle him and get him down. Can Paddy Pimblett have the same success? Maybe. Maybe he can, but I wouldn't necessarily count on it, right? I think Paddy's last win was, King Green, right? And he just completely jumped into a takedown, or into he just jumped right into Paddy's submission, right? That was just a stupid game move from him. And sure, Michael Chandler is not the guy who has good fight IQ, right? If Michael Chandler had good fight IQ, he really could be one of the best of all time in the division, just because of his pure athleticism and power. If his, and also, to be fair, his skills, would have to improve just a little bit, right? His striking's good, but that's pretty much his only tool in his arsenal, just hoping to land a knockout punch. That's Michael Chandler's game plan, and it's awesome to watch. It's so fun to watch. So, we're gonna watch any one of these guys' fights. I don't care who he's fighting, but I think he's gonna win. I just don't know if Paddy has experienced the same competition as Chandler. And also, Paddy has had some cardio issues in the past. Like, I know the fight against Ferguson was a while ago, but he was gassed that third round. I thought he was going to lose. He was gassed. And Michael Chandler, I keep saying, has won the fifth round against Charles Oliveira, a former champion, one of the best lightweights of all time. And I think that people are kind of underestimating Michael Chandler a little bit here. But whatever. Moving on from that fight. Oh boy. Oh boy. I am so excited for this fight just because of, everything that's been going on. Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. Because most people just want to see Bryce Mitchell get knocked out. And that's probably going to happen. Most likely that's going to happen. And Gene Silva, he is a dog, dude. Taking advantage of the hype he's getting and taking a fight with a guy like Bryce Mitchell, I think that's amazing, right? I think that's perfect. What's the damn word? Perfect matchmaking from the UFC right here. I love this fight. Is Gene Silva gonna win? Probably. Is Bryce Mitchell gonna get even more CTE from this fight? Yes, absolutely. And I'm here to see it, man. Because that was a banger debut podcast. And you can't tell me otherwise. So after some more CTE, his podcasts are just gonna keep getting better and better. So I love this fight. Amazing fight. Then we have another featherweight fight. Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. I actually haven't really seen any of his fights. He's in Bellator right now and coming over to the UFC, I'm pretty sure at least, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched his fights. If I had to pick someone to win this, I would probably pick Yair Rodriguez just because of He's been in the UFC. He has the experience. He's still pretty solid, in my opinion. And I just think the guys that he's faced, been in there with Max Holloway, Volkanovski, all those people. I think that's going to be an advantage for him. So I'm going to have to go with him. But oh boy, Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. This is going to be a fun fight. Anything with Carlos Prates, dude. He's like 4 knockouts in a row? Or am I tweaking? Hold up. I'm gonna look at his record real quick. Carlos Prates. KO, 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 KO. Damn. Holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my god. 10 KOs in a row? To be fair, yeah, 4 of them in the UFC, one of them on Dana White's Contender Series. The rest, one of them in one championship, blah, blah, blah. A few of these, but wow. That's a lot of KOs, man. That is a lot of KOs. And if you go down some, he's even got a few submissions. So, I mean, seeing this dude fight is incredible. However, is he going to win this one? I do think he's going to win this one. But I don't think he's going to get much further. And oh man, dude, if he wins this fight, it might sound a little bit crazy, but give him Strickland, dude. If Carlos Prates wins this fight, next one, Dan Ige, Sean Woodson. Let me look up Sean Woodson's record. 13-1, up and comer. Ooh, that is a little bit scary for Dan Ige, right? Because Dan Ige is the guy who he kind of just like comes and goes, KOs someone, loses a fight by decision, KOs someone, loses, and just kind of does like that little back and forth thing. But it's kind of like we know that he's probably not gonna break into the top 10 or anything like that, really. So this is a very dangerous fight for him. I don't know, before I make a pick, I'd have to watch some footage on this guy, but I am kind of leaning towards this other dude, I can't lie. But this is the last fight I'm going to talk about, right? Because this is oh, wait, there's also Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. That's a good fight, too. But I think the last one I'm going to actually talk about, Nikia Kratov. I don't know if I said his name right. Probably not. But but whatever. But that dude versus Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes is winning, okay? Dominic Reyes is actually here's what Dominic Reyes is gonna happen. Here's what he's gonna do. He is going to beat this guy, however you say his name, and then he's going to fight the loser of Jan Blachowicz versus who is Jan? Oh my god, the name is blinking. Who is Jan Blachowicz fighting? The fight Carlos Ulberg. Yes, okay. His name is completely slipped my mind. Dominic Reyes is gonna fight the loser of Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg, right? Then when he wins that fight, he's going to face the winner of Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree. Then after he wins that fight, Alex Pereira he's going to be at heavyweight, so we're not gonna have to deal with that. Then Dominic Reyes is going to fight Yuri Prohaska in a rematch for the vacant light heavyweight belt. And Dominic Reyes is, he's going to win somehow. And the story is all going to come back together. And it's going to be a beautiful story. And we can all cry happy tears that Dominic Reyes finally got what he deserves and a championship belt. That's what's going to happen. Okay, nothing else can possibly happen, okay? So, yeah. But this is a actually incredibly stacked card, dude. Very stacked card. And to wrap it all up, because I was talking about how Volkanovski has the potential to be one of the best. If he beats Lopez, you know what? Actually, let me Google the featherweight division real quick. Featherweight division. I'll put this up here. So, featherweight division. Featherweight. Okay, well, Ilia Topuria vacated. There's Volk. Holloway's not here anymore. If he beats Lopez, that's amazing. Evloev is the next challenge, right? If he can beat Evloev, which if he beats Lopez, I think there's a pretty good chance he can beat Evloev as well. Then let's see. Who does he lose to? Yair? I don't think so. Isn't Ortega going up to lightweight? Or am I tweaking? Maybe I'm tweaking, but he's going to be him. Going to be Arnold Allen. Josh Emmett is a dangerous fight just because he hits hard. But I think Volk's winning. I think Volk's winning. I think Volk's winning at all of them, dude. If Volk is able to come back and beat Lopez, he really has a chance to go on a little mini title run. And that's going to be awesome to see. It's going to be so fun. So, let's all pray for Volk that he can get it done. But yeah, that's about it. So, see ya.